So one of the things that I think definitely made me way more consistent, and I think this video does a pretty good job showing it, because I'm skating with Nick, and he has a very similar approach to skateboarding than I do, and it's having this like consistency, especially in situations you've never necessarily been in, which is kind of this like put your feet on the board no matter what, and sort of understanding where that safety is and where you actually need to be for doing stuff like that. So you just watch this video, see where we're at. We have a little conversation pretty early in the video about it, and then I'll get into a little bit of detail later on about exactly how this works, how I guess I would say implement it, even though it's something that kind of occurred almost like as a joke, skating with friends, and then just became such a part of my skating that I think the only reason that I have any sort of standout quality on a skateboard is because I do this, and it's how I have learned almost everything. There's different techniques to learn tricks, but this is what works the best for me. Watch the video. I think you'll pick up on a bit of what we're doing. I also chop all the lines up to be more single tricks. There's still some lines in it, but I feel like there's some dead space. I'm going to start chopping the dead space out between tricks. Like, you get it. It's a line. Anyways, here's the video. She brought my wax back that she stole from California.
I think I got home and I realized that I stole it.
She's so Canadian that she literally brought the wax all the way back to make the dollar wax.
That?
Canadians.
No, who wouldn't do that?
Are you joking? Americans.
It is Canada Day today.
It is Canada Day today. Why is your holiday so close to our holiday? I didn't document any of the travel, but we are now in Washington, D.C. And got the ladies, and guess who else is here? If you can remember, which of my friends lives in D.C. Well, I guess all the Beltway guys too, but Nick Weber. He's already skating. This is Shaw Skatepark? So this is your local?
Oh yeah.
Show me how to skate the local. I've been cruising around a little bit. It's a really good park.
They rebuilt it a few years ago, but right when I moved back, I realized it was right down the street.
Oh, it wasn't? Oh, yeah. Wasn't the park here, though?
Yeah, it was over there.
Yeah. I was going to say, this is a different shape. This is a much bigger space. Kind of got everything. It has 2 round bars, which I think is rare. Like 2 different flat bars, which I like. Good ledges. I like this, like, Philly step thing.
Good when there's less than, like, 7 people, because you can just, like...
zip around. Because it's not like a contest park where it's, like, back and forth. It's very much has this, like, diagonal to it, too. It's, I could definitely see it being kind of crisscross crash. Do a crooked grind or something. We take this. Flip from board guy? Since when? Is that why you went to California and everyone's doing them? You're like, you know what? I'm flipping guy now. I like this rail, actually. It's like long enough that I can feel good about grinding the whole rail, but it's not a big deal to grind the whole rail. Yep. What size is it?
So, it's weird. It's an 8.8, but 14.25 wheelbase.
Oh, I like that.
And a little under 32.
Really?
And it tapers. So...
Oh, whoa.
See, it kind of looks like an 8.5.
It does. Really flat. Very flat board.
Yes.
This is like some girl concave right there.
This is some new...
So, yeah, this is our new... I can't even say what it is. Yeah, you can stand on it, though. I mean, you can figure it out what the difference is right away. No, I agree. Like, when I feel something, like if a board has too much concave on the nose or the tail, to me, it almost feels like a chip. Ooh, slidey. Club.
Wrong trick.
I've been doing these a lot lately.
He cheated with the rails.
Take that. I almost made you land that. Switch back to switch. Oh! Arch nemesis trick. Switch one was almost cleaner. Yeah, Ness.
So bad.
I thought it was good. The switchboard was really good. These are my least favorite obstacles, the gap-to-gap things.
Not in the middle enough.
I was gonna say, you'd have to pop out so much earlier to land on the bank. I think it's almost cooler on the two-stair thing because you get to do something off the curb. The main reason I want you to do that back 50-50 front 180 because I was like, he's probably gonna switch 180 off the curb and it's probably gonna look cool. Yes. This thing's kind of unique. Got a little noping spot. Damn, this park kind of has everything. I'm trying to think of one thing that it doesn't have. It has a Euro gap, it has a hip, it has flat bars, it has ledges, it has a bank to bank, has a spine, has pool coping, China wall, curb, manual pad. Dang, they kind of nailed it. Curve ledge. I mean, it's a hard to skate curve ledge. One of these benches. You could argue mini ramp, but I would say that the bowl has a mini ramp in it. Stopped. Fake, comply on a bank, very rare. You land so many tricks that you don't do. Like, you really are good at staying on your board.
I feel like I'll come here during the week after work. So I'm a teacher. I get off at like 4. When I come here at like 4:30, there's like 5 people here, so it's perfect.
Yeah.
Like skate nonstop for like an hour. But I do think skating transition helps with street, and street helps with transition. I
Absolutely.
It's really important to not put yourself into one box.
Yeah, I mean, I think transition really helps you to dictate your body weight on certain grinds. Like,
Exactly.
doing pretzel stuff out, I think, is very much opened up when you learn how to do all your reverts on a quarter pipe.
And like, I know you feel this way, but like, I think I may have said it when I was in Phoenix with you actually, like, just trying to stay on and land everything, no matter how shitty it looks,
Yeah.
is like,
It makes you better at skating. If I could skate one skate park obstacle for the rest of my life, what would it be? I mean, I'd pick a quarter pipe just because of the longevity of it. But as of right now, if I could have this body forever, it'd be probably around flat bar. Or like a semi-low ledge would be fun too. Like a long semi-low ledge that I could skate like a manual pad too.
then I always think like mini ramp.
Yeah.
Good wooden, 3.5, 3 foot.
We were gonna play with trying to front nose this whole thing today. It's going. It's just it's a little on the taller side, and the ground kind of dips slightly before on each side. You can kind of see how it's lopsided. It's good though. Oh! You see why you need to learn Wallies? You can just throw it anywhere. Best feeble I've ever seen. Yeah, I can do that. I skate the whole way for sure. Oh, that's I don't want to show. Okay, one more. I don't.
Oh, that was crazy.
I'll try. One more. Oh, nothing's worse than when you pop out like 2 feet from the end. Dude, you've landed like 3 tricks you didn't even land.
It's very playful. I was gonna say, would be the first ever flawless line that got last place in a contest.
I don't know where I learned that from.
Yeah, who'd you steal that from? Wait, who did I steal that from? You already did that.
I know.
You landed that half cab flip and your body went like the other way. That was crazy looking. I'd argue that the big highlight of the skate park is it actually has a water fountain in the skate park. Oh, coffee shop right across the street. It's a good location. Hey! You'll offend it. This park has a really, really good obstacle to open space ratio. Like everything's like kind of close together, but not so close that you feel crowded. Like you can really just bounce around. Who designed this park? Like they crushed it.
I really have like no complaints about it.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. The only thing that I've noticed is like a little bit of uneven ground, but you can only do so much about that. Oh, I would say that I wish the coping stuck out a little bit more on the quarter pipe, but that's like me trying really hard to be nitpicky about it. Like you have to put effort into complaining about this place.
I was blessed with like this in Laurel for sure.
Oh yeah, Laurel was like one of the first good skate parks that like Maryland got. I like that.
This is kind of fun.
That was sick. Oh, that kind of went to Hurricane. I know he's tired. I'm probably chopping this up, but this is one really long line. Hey, let me see that shin.
Sorry. Yeah, it's, dude, like.
Short life, dude. I think that was a Smith. With the hand plant, the Tiago, put your hand on the ledge. Transition on this quarter pipe's almost a little China wally. Like it gets kind of flat at the top. What did your foot do when you landed? That was crazy. Remember when his head swelled up and you could put dents in it? So you grew your hair out just so that'll never happen again for sure.
I got pictures, but my head, after I shaved it when we were in Phoenix at that skate park, I hadn't had a shaved head in like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Like the day before I left, I could feel my head, you know, it was like, it felt really weird, like my face was starting to swell up. On the flight home, it was like a 5-hour flight, my face just started getting really puffy. My head was like getting even bigger than it is right now, which is crazy. On like the metro ride home, I just took a picture of my face and it was all like swollen. I had to take 2 days off of work.
It was that bad.
Yeah, and I just felt so like groggy and disgusting. But literally, like my eyes were like swollen shut. And
No way.
I got sun poisoning.
From when he shaved his head when we were in Arizona. And it's funny, it's like I shaved my head shortly after that, and I started to get minor symptoms of what you had. My head swelled up a little bit. But he could literally like touch his head and it would leave like an indent. Like the only funny, now I'm not even gonna bring that up. I'm not even gonna talk about Family Guy, that shit sucks. I saw fingers. That late whip. Oh. Yes. Rock to rock. I don't know, you're in the big section. Get out of there. This is clearly your feeble ledge. You are. Whenever I see a wild bag, I just think Kevin Spacey is super canceled.
Maybe that'll balance it out.
Normally I don't do this, but we're putting wax in the pocket because this ledge is giving me some, what is it, grief? Giving me some gut. It's giving me something I don't like.
Okay, good. I feel like this would be one of my favorite skate parks, but I just threw up. I think I had food poisoning, but I'm not sure yet. Very sweaty, weak, puking, diarrhea. Not excited about it, but we'll see. I'm gonna feel it out. I'm just gonna drink a ton of water real quick.
Okay, so it seems obvious. Try to put your feet on the board, but then it's also obvious, well, that's how you get hurt. It's how you roll your ankle. There's so many bad things that can happen if you put your feet on the board when you're not leaning the right way or when you're not prepared for what the board has done. I mean, everyone's so scared of landing primo or landing with their foot on the truck. And here is the really hard pill to swallow in a weird way, even though it's very good news. It's still hard to implement. And that is, it's actually pretty safe to put your feet on the board if you do it confidently and if you're not so freaked out about it. It's like whenever you're nervous and you're being super hesitant, you're very tense, right? And that's when a lot of injuries happen. All your muscles are all tensed up. It puts your body in a position to jar in not great ways. I joke a lot about dumb skaters are always the best skaters because they just blindly go into it. And I think there is an intentional making yourself a little bit, not dumb, but blindly confident to what the board is going to do, because you'd be surprised on how fast your reflexes are. I'm a particularly clumsy person, so I would assume that I have very slow reflexes. I drop stuff. I'm not the quickest person. But when it comes to skateboarding and I commit to these things, I almost always turn out fine. Now, I get hurt a lot because I let my guard down way too much. I get a little too comfortable and a little too goofy. But this all started by me just skating with my friends, and the board would flip wrong and I put my feet on it anyways, just to make my friends laugh. I would kick my board at stuff and just try to land back on it, sort of like a fancy lad approach. I mean, this is what we were doing at our local skate park in 2002. It's also why you see me do when I land a trick and I'm scraping my tail, I'll do a body varial or shove it or something silly like that. And it really was understanding that you're way safer and skating and putting your feet on the board is way less dangerous than you actually think. The only time you ever slam dropping in or landing in transition is when you're pussyfooting around. So really leaning into everything you do, sometimes literally, is the secret to being consistent. And I think the best way to do that is something that I say a lot actually when I'm teaching someone to do a kickflip for the first time. And it's usually when they're flipping the board correctly, but it's not staying under them enough, or they're like, oh, I can't get both feet on it. I will tell them to flip the board over halfway and land on it upside down on purpose. I suggest maybe just landing on your board on purpose in weird things like that. If kick flips and heel flips and barrel flips, just to get a feel for what it's like to put your feet in there anyways. A lot of times your knee-jerk reaction to the board doing something wrong can put you in the spot to actually ride away from whatever trick that is. Am I saying to rely on your instincts to land tricks? Kind of. Now, this isn't 101 skateboarder advice, so this is it. Like, if you just are learning how to ollie, I'm not saying do this. I'm saying if you can like kickflip, you can drop in, you can use some 50-50s, and then maybe do a couple more advanced tricks, like maybe like a crooked grind, 360 flip or something like that. Switch flips are starting to work. That's when you get to start implementing it. Because you'll be surprised. It is just as likely to get hurt pussyfooting around a trick as it is to actually commit to it, especially on like the lower impact stuff. Find a way to ride away. So even if you don't land the trick and the board flips over, just jump back on it anyways. And I promise you, this will build like a mental momentum to land way more often. I mean, Nick's a great example of he's just riding away from tricks that he's not even trying. He will mess up a trick and then land a different trick. He does it like 5 times in this video. If you've had experience with this, let me know. I'm sure a lot of people are already doing this, but I think it's something that's not really talked about that much. And I think it is a huge help and a boost in skateboarding if you're trying to like get more consistent. Anyways, more to come. A video tomorrow. The surprise pro skater randomly ran into someone in Washington, D.C. Didn't see that coming. And then Nessa's YouTube and B's Instagram and Nick's Instagram in the description. Go follow them and stuff.